Hello everybody, welcome to Sick of Shit Broadcasting. I'm the host of this program, as you well know, Mr. Sick of Shit, because just like you, I'd be sick of the shit. That's my dog drinking his water in the backyard. I was going to do this outside, but he just can't behave outside. At any rate, you need to be aware of something very important. We've known for a long time that you can't believe everything that you hear in the lamestream media. Well, I've got news for you, and this is going to be a hard pill for a lot of people to swallow, but there's a lot of people on YouTube, a lot. I used to be one of them, but I'm not now. There are a lot of these people who think that they know what they're talking about with reference to various topics, and they don't. They don't. I know firsthand from my own personal experience with illegal immigrants. Most of them, first of all, yeah, they came here illegally, and I don't like that. But if you came from a place like Cuba, where you have absolutely no freedom whatsoever, and you're literally having to beg the government to feed you because they're hoarding all of the food for the rich and leaving all basically just the scraps for everybody else, you would probably not care how you came here either. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. If I lived in a country like that, which this one is likely soon going to be, I wouldn't care how I got to another country where I thought I was going to be treated better. I wouldn't care how I got there. I don't think anybody would. I really don't. We can say that we would all we want, because right now even though the inflation has gone way up and it costs way more than it used to keep yourself fed, we can still do that for now. And when we're in the kind of a situation where we got a roof over our head, water, you got plenty of food, whether it's more expensive or not, you got plenty to eat. You don't have to beg anybody for what you need. It's easy for us in this situation to say what we would or wouldn't do if we were in the same situation that these other people are in, but we don't know what we would do. And chances are 90% of us, if not more, would do the same thing they did. And the reason I'm telling you can't believe everything you hear on YouTube either, or even Rumble, or any of these other platforms. You know, I really believed that all of these people, as soon as they crossed the border, I believed that they were getting their rent paid free for a month. A year. I believed that they were getting SNAP benefits every single month for X amount of time. And depending on what state they wind up in, they may very well be getting all of that. In New York, I think they probably are. But I can tell you, it's not happening in Kentucky. And there's a shitload of these people here, and most of them seem to be doing pretty good. But for some reason, others are doing very badly. They're not getting... I was talking to a young man today. He's been here for 4 years. When he came across that border, you know what they gave him? They gave him $350. That was it. And they didn't even... He had no idea. When they let him come over here and stay here all this time, that his papers said in English that he was inadmissible and ordered removed from the United States. He had no idea. Wasn't until I saw those documents and translated them with my translator, now he knows. He could be deported any freaking time. They might send him someplace that's better than Cuba. They might send him right back to where he came from. He hasn't seen his family in 4 freaking years. Just to find out 4 years later, because he met me, that he could be deported any day. And his friends gave him the impression that they had been paying the rent for several months when they hadn't been, and recently just skipped out on him to go to Florida. So now he is there by himself and responsible for almost $2,000 worth of rent. He has no job. He can't get a job because he doesn't have a green card. They won't let him have one. They let him have an ID. Gave him a Social Security card. But he can't get a work permit. Why? What the hell did you bring this poor young man here for? And he's not the only one that I've met in this kind of situation. I hate politicians. I don't care what party they belong to. Career politicians are nothing but pure evil, and evil must be destroyed. They brought this young man here from a place where he was already 100% dependent on the government where he lived, only to bring him here to be 100% dependent on whoever's going to show him the kindness to keep him alive. I don't know how he's even going to stay in his apartment. Honestly, I really don't know how he's going to do it. He didn't have any food until I brought him some food. This is the kind of shit that I'm sick of, and the kind of shit that pisses my ass off. If you believe whatever you hear coming out of these politicians' mouths, you are quite gullible. You cannot believe any of them. You can't believe the left. You can't believe the right. You might be able to believe somebody somewhere in the middle, maybe once in a while, and maybe not even them. So now you know. None of them, it's very likely, none of them are telling the truth. They're using these people as political pawns for re-election. That's all they're doing. None of these politicians are telling the truth, and none of these news outlets are telling the truth. And if you're listening to them, thinking that what you're giving people on YouTube is correct information, you are dead ass wrong. I know, from my own experience, you're wrong. Till next time, Mr. Sick of Shit, signing out.